Hi everybody. Okay, so I'm back with another K-drama to see, have you already seen it? And if not, is it something that you would check out? So before we get into this video, you already know the drill. Like this video, follow me for more, and share this with someone that you know that would be interested in K-dramas, okay? So the name of today's K-drama is called Lovers of the Red Sky. This K-drama takes place in the Dan Dynasty, and it essentially starts out showing that the emperor at the time, I guess someone released this evil spirit or this demon king, and they had a bunch of shamans and a bunch of people of that sort kind of come together and seal the evil king or the demon king in the emperor's portrait when they buried the emperor. Now, the same night that this evil spirit is being sealed away, one baby and another kid were born. And what ends up happening is, I guess the woman says to the child, it's unfortunate for you essentially that this is what you have to experience in life. And then, it fast forwards to some point in their present when the kids have grown up more. And that's when we essentially learned that the little girl from that night was, I guess, blind. So she lost her sight. And her dad is this painter, and it's clear that from that night, that man kind of lost his. Now, with everything that's going on, I guess some people are rummaging around the town, the village, whatever the case is, and they see this little boy and they recognize that he has the water ability. So currently, that whole kingdom is experiencing a drought, and they've been in that drought for about 9 years, which was a result of the curse from that evil spirit that they had sealed away. And so when this shaman sees this little boy, she immediately thinks, oh, we have to take him, and he has to be a sacrifice. Now, the present emperor, he is opposed to sacrificing anybody's life for the sake of making it rain. Now, the shaman feels, okay, I'll go along with your little game, but I'm going to switch it last minute to kind of get what I want. And that's exactly what she does. So before, we get to the whole water spiritual ritual thing, the little boy and the little girl cross paths because him and his father are venturing out about in the village, and they stumble across this little girl as she's defending her dad from these bullies. And he takes some time and he starts talking to the girl's father, who's obviously, not all the way there right now. And so the two kids kind of get to know each other. And that's when we learn their names. The little girl's name is Hong Chong-yi, and the little boy's name is Haram. Now, Haram is aware or has learned that Hong Chong-yi is blind, and yet some way, somehow, she's still managing to navigate through the world without any issues with her cane or stick in this case. And the two of them go to this woman's yard, which is technically closed off because she doesn't want trespassers. And Hong Chong-yi essentially has Haram climb a tree to steal this lady's peaches. Now, the two of them end up running away, and Haram, being the gentle boy that he is, helps patch up her wound with a scarf or a handkerchief that he actually had on hand. And she's grateful. Now, the two of them, I guess, they really enjoyed the peach, and he says that he'll come back tomorrow to enjoy it. Of course, he has no idea that tomorrow, that what he's about to experience is meant to end his life. Now, when he goes to this ritual, everything is going on, and then the shaman lady essentially calls forth all this negative energy, and he ends up falling into the water. And when he falls into the water concurrently, now in a side part of this drama, we do see a young prince, and he's essentially feeling like he was cheated out of being crowned the next emperor or whatever that whole thing is. And we see his other brother essentially saying to him, why does it bother you? And he's saying to the brother, why doesn't it bother you? Didn't you ever want to do this? And the brother's like, no, I'm content just being me. So that's not enough for him. He storms off to where that previous emperor was sealed away, or the evil spirit was sealed away, and he breaks the seal. And so the demon king essentially comes out, tries to possess him, is not able to possess him, and leaves. Now, when he leaves, the little boy says, I knew it. I knew that I was supposed to be the next in line. Okay, cool. So now the evil spirit flies away, and at the same time, Haram has already fallen into the lake or whatever after rain started falling from the ritual. So now, while he's essentially drowning in the water, the evil spirit possesses him from within the water, and the evil spirit obviously has plans to do what it needs to do. Now, Hong Chong-yi was actually given like a gift by this older woman in the town who's clearly not a human being, and she said to her, when she gifted her, that you're going to need this for what's to come the next day. So now it's the present day. Haram is already possessed and in the water by the evil spirit, and at the same time, Hong Chong-yi, I guess, falls into the water, and the energy that woman, or the spell or the magic that lady had placed upon her, is what's used to kind of trap the evil spirit, and it takes away the evil spirit's eyes and gifts it to Hong Chong-yi. So it's essentially like, you can't get your eyes back unless you find this girl. Now, in doing so, that means that now Haram has gone blind, and Hong Chong-yi is now able to see. And as she grows up, she essentially starts painting, and she becomes a counterfeit painter, which is illegal, obviously. And she's working for this man, and she's getting ready to tell him, hey, I'm out of this business because I just wanted to make enough money to get my father medicine to treat him. And once the guy heard that, he was essentially like, well, you can't just get out, and set it up for her to get ripped off. Now, in doing this, when the two of them are adults, Haram and Hong Chong-yi come across each other, and they're saying similar things to each other about an experience that they had when they were younger with a younger boy, a younger girl, and how they were supposed to meet back up again at a peach tree, and it was the first time, etc., etc. But Haram is just like, oh, this can't possibly be her. Both of them are questioning, is this the younger boy or the younger girl that I knew when I was smaller? And then we see, obviously, we hear their internal monologue, and that's when we hear, okay, he definitely was that younger boy, and she definitely is that girl that used to be blind, and that's when we learn, the situation that had happened with them. So as things progress, Haram is obviously aware that something negative and dark resides inside of him, and it actually gets activated when him and Hong Chong-yi accidentally hug. And so he pushes her off and tells her she needs to get away really quickly, and that's when the spirit actually breaks free and is able to see Hong Chong-yi and goes, oh, it's you. You have my eyes. And so now this evil spirit that has possessed Haram's body is trying to get its eyes back. Now, I will be honest with you, I have not seen this entire K-drama. I recently started. I'm not able to continue because I told myself until I make a video or a couple videos for you guys that I'm punishing myself by not watching my K-dramas. So expect a couple videos this week. Now, there are other characters in this series. One being that prince from when everyone was younger that kind of didn't care about being next in line to, everything. And we see how he's grown up. And he's starting to look like he's taking an interest in Hong Chong-yi. And Haram has kind of put a wall between him and Hong Chong-yi as a way to, protect her. But he seems to find himself falling for her as well. Now, that second prince, the one that was leaning towards the evil side, Buddy has spiraled further into being evil. And you know how the trope goes. Typically, there's always a brother that tries to unalive whoever is next in line to be king because he's so greedy and wants all the power. Alongside, it's starting to look like one of the princes and Haram are actually going to fall into like one of those love triangles where they're vying for Hong Chong-yi to, fall in love with them or to pick them. Now, if you have already seen this, definitely let me know in the comments how you felt about it. If you haven't already seen it, let me know in the comments if this is something that you would check out. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Okay, thanks, bye.